Hi there, welcome to this video. This is just a continue on. We're just going to cover a few more tools in the tool palette, not in extreme detail, just in minor detail, so you can have a quick look at how they roughly work, and then we'll cover them in more detail later on in actual practical applications. Okay, now first one we're going to start with is the history brush tool. Now this is a fantastic tool and very powerful once you learn how to use it. I'll just quickly demonstrate and show you the kind of thing that you can potentially do with it. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is actually duplicate my background layer, and I'm just going to use the shortcut which is Control J or Command J on the Mac. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just do something kind of extreme with this layer. So let's have a look. We've got artistic down here. Well, actually, in fact, let's just do something with a blur. So let's do like a radial blur, and we'll just click on OK. Okay, there you have it. So that's we'll kind of blurred the image of the face there now. Now what I'm going to do is select the whole image, and I'm going to delete it. Okay, so now you can see there's nothing there. Now with my history brush selected, I'm actually going to come up here into my brushes, and I'm going to select a nice kind of a big, what have we got here? I'll just scroll up here a bit. There we go, one of these brushes. Okay. Alright, now with my history brush tool selected, I'm just going to click back on the Radial Blur layer here. Now in my history palette, I'm just clicking on that there, and now I'm just going to increase my brush size even further, and I'm just going to paint around the edges here. Okay, and you can see it's kind of painting in that crazy kind of blurring that I added there. I could even go over the face a bit there as well. Okay, and if I wanted to, I could just go over the whole thing, which defeats the purpose. Then if I wanted to, I can use my eraser and actually cut out some of these other bits here that I wanted to keep sharp. Maybe the lips, okay, the nose and the eyes. There you go. So that's our, ooh, funky. Okay, so that's our before and that's our after there. And if we wanted to reduce the opacity a little bit there, just to reduce the intensity of those changes, we can do that as well. But the art history brush and the history brush, great for doing artistic type things, and I'll show you some cool effects of them later on. Okay, what else we got here? We've got our eraser tool, as I just showed you there. Eraser tool, I'll just pull that up. Quite simply, rubs out. If you reduce the opacity, it'll rub out just a bit. You can see it's like a shade of grey. Okay, so quite easy to use, and really useful tool. Gradient tool, this is an excellent tool. You can see there we've got linear gradients. This is in our options bar. Linear gradients, radial gradients, angle gradients, reflected gradients, and diamond gradients. So we've got the whole kit and caboodle there. Very exciting with some of the things you can do with them as well. Gradient overlays and so forth. Okay, then we've got the good old smudge tool and the sharpen tool here. We've got our blur tool, sharpen, and our smudge tool. I don't use them a whole lot. They are okay in their application, depending on what you're using them for. Then over here we've got our dodge and burn tools and our sponge tool. Dodging tool there, and I'll just increase my brush size a bit there, and I'll just duplicate my background layer there. Okay, so you can see here what I'm doing here with the dodge tool is lightening things up. If I want to use my burn tool, it'll do the opposite. It'll darken things up. Okay, you'll see that it's darkening everything up there. It's just burning it. So if I wanted to sort of burn the edges of the photo here, just kind of darken them up. Okay, So, okay, great tool. Has a good application. It just depends on how you use it. But you can see there just quickly, we've completely changed the look of that photo there in a few seconds, and give it a complete new sort of look and feel, different mood to it by using the dodge and burn tool. Okay, then we've got our path selection tool and our direct selection tool. Very useful too when working with the pen tool. Horizontal type tool, if you want to add type to your picture, um, you know, the photo of the lady, you can see there, very easy to add type to your pictures. And in our options bar there, you can select, when you have your type selected, you can select your font, and you can, you know, go from there. So very easy to use, and lots of different options in the options bar there for your type. Pen tool, this is a great tool, very often underutilized. Once you know how to use it in its right capacity, very powerful for making selections and creating paths in your image. So great for doing all sorts of things. Okay, next here we have our shape tool, and we've got different shapes there that we can use, even custom shapes, rounded rectangle tool, polygonal tool, the whole bit. Okay, then we've got our note section here, eyedropper tool, so if you want to see what density certain colors are, you can see as I'm moving my eyedropper tool, the values up here in my info palette are changing as well. So very good for that. Okay, down the bottom we've got our hand tool for moving around the image. So once I'm zoomed up there, I can use the hand tool to move around. As a shortcut, quick little shortcut I'll share with you, if you hold the spacebar key down, if I have another tool selected and I hold the spacebar key down, that will automatically select the hand tool, so you can move around your image that way. And of course our zoom tool, which is very important, very useful, and something that you will use quite a lot. So that's our sort of brief overview of the tool palette. There's a lot to it, and it will take you time to use the different tools, experiment and practice with them before you may feel completely comfortable with it. But that's something I would highly recommend, that you get used to it, you experiment, you practice, and have fun while you're doing it too. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.